Greetings! It's Maxo Diddly. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can get the Emerald Grove raided while keeping Wyll as a companion and also keeping Halsin alive so he'll join you as a companion in Act 2. Let's get right into it. So you're going to need Wyll in your party. Ideally you haven't done much with the goblin camp, so Minthara is still there waiting for you to talk to her. And the Emerald Grove needs to be relatively unharmed. So the tieflings are alive, the druids are alive, and more importantly, Khaga is still alive. And if we look at my journal, Zevlor has already been killed. So he's not needed for this technique. So the first step is, we're going to go into the Emerald Grove. I recommend using this elevator up here, because it will make getting out of the grove a lot easier. And the first step is, we want to kill Khaga. And to do so we can go into a little cave by entering through this stone door. And once inside, we're going to walk up to Khaga, and then we're going to right click on her and click on attack. And we need to kill everyone in the cave. And once you've killed Khaga and everyone else inside the cave, you now want to exit the cave and go back into the Emerald Grove. The next step is, we need to now take the idol from its stand. If we don't do this, the druids will finish the Rite of Thorns, which will ruin this exploit. Because you can't have the goblin party if the Rite of Thorns has been completed. Now you need to exit the grove without engaging in any more combat, which is why I recommend you use the elevator here. And once you've gone up the elevator, I recommend going across this wooden bridge. Also, if you look closely enough, you can see combat going on. Make sure you don't engage with it. And you want to leave the Emerald Grove, and then I recommend walking over to the warp point, which is near the grove, because in doing so, you'll exit the combat, and the red around the map will go. Then, a moment later, you'll get 2 journal updates, which basically mean the tieflings and druids have kind of killed each other. The next step is, we need to now kill Wyll. So, separate him from the rest of your party. And then what I like to do is, I like to go up to this hill. And then I like to fireball him, because that gets him close to death. Then I want you to jump off. If he's still alive, just jump back up, and then jump down again. The reason Wyll is going to be doing the ending of his life is so you don't lose disapproval with him by attacking him. Now, since Wyll is on the ground fighting for his life, you're going to need to walk over to him and give him a friendly tap. Or if he fails his death saving throws, he'll die automatically. However, if he does succeed in his death saving throws, you can just punch him or use a magic missile on him to finish him off. The next step is, you want to right click on him with a character in your party who has strength. I recommend having at least 18 strength on one character. Right click on them and click on loot. Then take everything out of Wyll. Then right click on Wyll and click on pick up. And we're going to keep Wyll dead in our inventory. And if we look at it, look, he's in our inventory. The next step is, we're going to short rest, and then we're going to go to our map, and then we're going to go to the Blighted Village, or whichever teleport point you have unlocked, which is closest to the goblin camp. Now we're going to go to the goblin camp. One thing to keep in mind, if you've kept Sarza alive, you're going to want to kill her, because she is going to change the dialogue options you see when you talk with Minthara. And to get into the goblin camp, you can kill the goblins here because they won't aggro the entire camp, or you can just speak to them and ask nicely. And the next step is, we're going to want to talk to Minthara. You can engage with other content in the goblin camp beforehand, like with Volo, or racing an owlbear, or whatever you want. However, don't aggro the goblin camp. If you do, you're not going to be able to speak with Minthara and tell her to go to the grove. So make sure you keep out of trouble. When you enter the goblin camp, you will be greeted by some goblins at the door, get past them without violence. So use your Illithid Wisdom, or if you're a drow, you can just use that to get through. After that, you then want to go to Minthara. Minthara can be located at the back of the goblin camp. Once you get to Minthara, you want to talk to her. For the first dialogue option, I recommend saying, "A hunt? Who's the target?" After that, then just pick any of these options. So I'll do sharing the dream of a dancing death. Then what you want to do is, you want to then say, the place you seek is a grove, many of the inhabitants are already dead. Minthara's going to be happy, and then she's going to go off to the grove to raid it, I guess, even though there's no one alive. And the next step is, you're going to want to go and free Halsin. Halsin can be located even further back in the goblin camp. So you go down these stairs, then you take a left turn, and then you take another left turn. And you just need to go across this wooden bridge to get to where Halsin is being kept. Now, before you do this fight, you can lower your difficulty if you want to make it easier. And something I recommend is separating your main character from your other companions, and putting your other companions here, and then making your main character interact with the goblins who are throwing stuff at Halsin. This will make the fights go quicker. So you want to say, "What in the hells are you doing?" Then you want to say, "Leave him alone," so you side with Halsin by attacking the goblins. Will somehow approve, even though he's dead, but I guess he can feel what's going on as a corpse in our inventory. You want to kill all of the goblins. And after the combat, Halsin is going to come up and talk to you. It doesn't matter what you say here, but I'm going to say, "Glad I could be of help." Then you want to go through the dialogue options, and again, it doesn't matter what you say yet. Then he's going to talk to you about the tadpoles, and again, it doesn't matter what you say until this point. Say, "Look around you, there's no order anymore, only chaos." After that, then you want to say, "The grove isn't my problem, I have to concentrate on saving myself." Then you can say whatever you want to Halsin, because he's going to tell us about how to get to Moonrise Tower. Then when you get to this dialogue option, say, "I'm sorry, I can't do more, thank you, and good luck with the grove." Halsin is then going to run off, and you want to wait a second, then make sure your entire party is grouped together. Then you're going to want to go to the map, and go to the teleport point near the Emerald Grove. After that, you then want to go to camp, and once you go to camp, you're then going to want to end the day. When you end the day, Halsin's going to approach you, and he's going to act like the grove is safe. And he's going to be happy, and he's going to now join with you for the rest of the game. So then you want to go to bed and do a long rest. And once you've done a long rest, you want to then leave the camp. And now you want to enter the Emerald Grove. And once in the Emerald Grove, you're going to want to go to the cave where you would normally find Zevlor, because that's where Minthara's going to be. Once you enter the chamber, you're going to then want to talk to Minthara. And when you talk to her, it doesn't really matter what you say. Open your mind to her, then leave, and you'll trigger the goblin party at your camp. Wyll is in your party, and he is alive. Also, Halsin is here. So let's talk to Halsin. Well, he's blessing us, and the dialogue options are normal. Let's talk to Wyll. He's happy with us here. So, that's everything for this tutorial. You can now keep Wyll in your party and play through the entire game. He's going to function normally. You're going to get all of his content, you can romance him if you want to, and now you can have a scene with Minthara if you want to. However, with Halsin, there's a couple of things you need to keep in mind. He's going to function perfectly normally. You can complete his questline in Act 2, you can recruit him as a companion, you can romance him, he works perfectly. However, when you leave Act 1 areas, and then return to them, he will be found dead in your camp. I recommend you do the wilderness stuff, then do the Underdark stuff, then go to the Githyanki Crash, and do all the stuff there. Then go to the Shadow Curse lands and never return. This way, Halsin will not end up dead in your camp. So thanks for being a great audience. Be sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more tutorials. Thanks for watching.